Good evening and welcome to this live. Thank you very much for watching, whether you're watching live or you're watching the replay. Let me fix the lighting because I just noticed that it was a bit too dull. And thank you all for coming in. And if you're watching the replay, welcome also. I hope that you subscribe to my channel and you follow me because there will always be something that's related to personal development, that's related to us navigating through life, navigating through our connections, our relationships. And so what I am mainly about. It's about helping others, especially teenagers, achieve their highest potential. And by highest potential doesn't mean achieving being the best, being the best version of themselves. Because we fight with ourselves, with this definition, with others, like and parents, as parents, we try to do we do everything so that our child achieves the best, gets the best mark, gets the best opportunity, is the best in class, whatever, because we love our children and we want them to be the best that can be. But sometimes we're misunderstood, and this creates a lot of pressure on the teenager, pressure on the person that we're here to support, but we end up not really supporting them. So, how can we how can we interact with our teenagers without going into a fight with them? Very, very easy. Many parents, they feel that this is such a big feat, such a big challenge, because interacting with a teenager, understanding a teenager, let alone having them to listen to you, that can be very challenging. But there are reasons for that challenge. And today we're going to talk about 5 strategies, 5 things that if you do, you apply, then you can get your teenager to become a better listener, to become a friend, to start relying more on you and communicating better with you so that you can be the role model that they really need, actually. So, first thing, most important thing, let's set the ground rules, or let's agree, not to disagree. Let's agree that teenagers are in this phase where they're not anymore dependent completely. They still depend on us. We want to think that. And they want to think that they don't need us at all. They are totally independent. So they are in this phase where they're trying to understand what they can, how much they can, what is their identity, what are their values, what is their character, what they like, what they don't like, what they can achieve, what they can't. So it's chaotic in their mind. And the last thing that they need is someone telling them that that's chaotic, or telling them that you cannot make a decision, or telling them that you still need me. Telling no, they need empowerment. They need to feel understood. They need to feel that you are someone who is listening, who are someone who's understanding, someone who actually knows what they're going through. So the first thing, the first advice is we need to listen to our teens, not to respond to them, but to understand them. The more they feel that we understand them, that we know what they're going through, that we might have 1 or 2 things that might help them face that challenge, break through that wall, understand their mood swings, the more they will come to us for advice. So, first thing, apply active listening. Show, because that shows respect and it builds trust. Yes, you need to earn the respect of your teenager. I remember, without giving any names, one parent, well, one very very long, some time ago, when she was in conflict with not a teenager, still kid, but it's just for the analogy and for it's very related, just few years older. So when she was in conflict with her, I would tell I used to tell her like, why do you shout at her like this, or why are you talking to her like this? And she goes, and the mom goes like, she needs to do what I tell her, or she needs to behave. But if you haven't taught her to do that, or what does that look like, okay, how do you expect her to do that? How do you expect her to follow the rules if she hasn't been taught what the rules are in a way that's not threatening, in a way that's supportive? That those boundaries, those rules are there to protect you, to help you. So you have to understand your teenager before you can actually access them. And we think that we know better, and we might in many cases know better. But what I mean, we think we know better what's the best solution for them, because we're the parents and we've been there, and we see that the situation that they are in is not a good one, or it might harm them. But they are not seeing that, and we are not in their shoes, so we don't know what they're going through. That's why the first step is to listen, to understand. Listen to build the respect, to build the trust. And when you're talking to them, maintain eye contact and avoid interrupting. Because when you start interrupting, oh, there she goes again. She doesn't listen, she doesn't care, she wants to make her point or his point. It's not always mother, but because I'm a mother, so I tend to use the he, the she, and the her. But actually, it applies to both parents. And so reflect to what your teen has just said to confirm understanding. So there's no shame in saying, well, let me make sure I got this right. So you're saying 1, 2, 3, 4, or you did this because 1, 2, 3, 4, or you acted this way because 4, 3, 2, 1. Yeah. Don't jump to judgments and to solutions and to like decisions too quickly. Make sure that you understood, no assumptions. Make sure that they understand that you understood. And then when they feel that you really know where they are, you're really now in their shoes, you got them listening to you. And you will not face this conflict. You will be able to avoid going into conflict and rather going into a discussion. That's number one. Number two, pick the right time and the tone. We as adults go through mood swings. We as adults go through ups and downs, highs and lows, what have you. Teenagers, if we go high and low, maybe once a day or twice a day, they go 10, 20 times because they are just trying to understand themselves. They don't know, should I feel good about this? Should I feel bad about this? She told me that. He acted with me this way. They are in, it's chaotic in their mind. So when you want to address something that's very, very critical, very sensitive with your teenager, make sure to pick the right time, a time where they're not in their low, when they're not going through a mood swing, and make sure you pick the right tone. Because if you start a serious conversation in the heat of an argument, what are your chances of, I'm not saying winning, no one's winning here, but what are your chances of getting them listening to you? Zero. And but if you use a calm, respectful tone, even when the topic is very difficult, and when you take some pauses in the conversation, especially when you feel that things are getting tense, they're heating up, pause. Silence sometimes help your teenager reflect or realize that what they're doing, what they're saying is probably not the right choice, not the right decision. And so you get them respecting you more, wanting to come for you more, because now they see the model. They see the advisor. They don't see the judge. They don't see the person trying to control or trying to say that I'm the one who knows and I'm older and what you don't know anything. Sometimes they know they don't know anything, but they don't want to be told that because that's a hit on their ego. And they're at this stage where they're trying to prove themselves. So you don't want to use anything that will threaten this self identity and self trust and trying to prove myself. Because if you attack this, then you will lose your teenager. Then conflict will come because they will not feel they have your support. They will feel that there's someone trying to control me and not letting me be free or be myself. Okay, so number one, listen to understand. Number two, pick the right time and the tone. And number three, yes, you want them to feel that they are understood. You want them to know that you get them, but you need also to set boundaries. Like, and if you involve them in setting those rules, then you will get more chance than not of them cooperating. Let them understand. Ask them for their input when you're setting those expectations and consequences. Like, why are the expectations there for, let's say, the time coming back home? Why will there be consequences if those are not respected? If you show them that the discipline or your interaction with them actually reflects what happens in real life, but magnified much more, when you show them that what you're doing will serve them in the future in a certain way, you might say, but how would they understand? You cannot really imagine how much they actually understand. I learned this with my little one when she was my first child, when she was 2 or 3. I remember an advice from a very dear friend, and she's a very successful consultant. I remember her telling me that don't underestimate what your child can understand. So, as a little kid, don't talk to her with those short, incomplete sentences, meaningless words. For some cultures, you would understand what I'm talking about. And instead of saying waters, giving sounds for that. No, don't belittle their capacity for understanding. Talk to her in full sentences. I was like, how would she understand a full sentence? Then she told me her advice to me was keep consistent, keep trying. They will get you because they are very intelligent beings. And so I did. You don't know how much your teenager actually can and is able to understand. So why not give her or him the maximum? Why not teach her the whole lesson? Why teach her half a lesson or teach him half a lesson? Teach them the whole lesson. They might get it from the beginning, or they might just get the tail of it or half of it, but they will get something. And if they didn't get it completely, they will come and ask you because now they see value. You are giving them a role in setting those boundaries. You are empowering them by they are empowering them by showing them their input is important for you and will play a role. And they will really appreciate this partnership and will now better understand those boundaries even if they don't like them. They will start understanding, and this will make them more prone to actually following those rules and accepting those boundaries. So this is number 3. Number 4, validate their feelings even if you disagree. One thing that can really, really mess with your relationship with your teenager is when you don't validate their feelings, when you feel that when they feel that like they don't matter or doesn't make any difference, you can start with things like, I can see why that would upset you. I understand why you took that decision. Because validation does not mean agreeing with them. You're not telling them, yeah, you did the right thing, or yes, that was the right behavior. No, you're just telling them that you understand where they're coming from, what made them do this, what made them make that decision. And avoid just minimizing their emotions or making them, it's not a big deal. Yes, it is. For them, it's a huge deal. Even if for you that situation does not that to be like is not that important, but for them it might be the world. So do not dismiss, do not minimize. Show that you are on their team, even when it's a very tough conversation, because they're your child and you love them to the moon and back. They need to see that, they need to feel it. We cannot make assumptions, because they're going through all these things, and you are the parent, you are the source of control, you are the source of power, and so on and so forth. So if you don't explicitly show them and tell them, they will never assume that you are on their side, on their team. They will always assume that you are trying to ruin everything for them, and you're just there to stop them, and you are just here to make them do what you want, and their opinion is not important. No, that's not true. But they don't see it. You have to show them. Okay? That's number 4. And last but not least, be the model. Don't judge. What do I mean by be the model? Teenagers, kids, it's very obvious with little ones, because there are no filters and there's no analysis. They look at their peers, they look at the parent, and they do exactly the same thing because they believe this is the way things are done, right? So if you see a child always smiling, you know that their parents are very smiling. If you see a child hitting, you know that their parents hit. They're just like parrots, copycat. Now, teenagers, not so prominently, not so obviously, but they learn from their models. And you might tell me, yeah, but I'm not my child's model. You may not be explicitly their model, but you are the model they have, the closest, the model they see the most. So many of their behavior will come from yours. They learn more from what you do than what you say. So if you want them to behave a certain way, don't tell them how, just show them how. Demonstrate how to manage emotions and to resolve conflicts. And when you're wrong, apologize, because that teaches accountability. There's nothing more powerful than an adult apologizing to their child or to a teenager or to a kid. It's showing them that yes, anyone can make a mistake, but not just that, it's okay to take responsibility and to say that I made a mistake. Take interest in their world. Take interest in what they love, in their friends, in their music, what they're viewing on social media. Laugh about it, share experiences without any judgment. Don't judge. The judgment is killer of not just your relationship with your team, your relationship with anyone. When a person, a friend, an acquaintance, a colleague at work feel that they are judged when they interact with you, they will stop interacting with you because they don't feel comfortable around you. They feel always judged, that you're observing them, you're waiting for them to make a mistake or to do something for you to comment on. These are teenagers, the same thing. So avoid judging. Understand, listen to understand, empathize with, show them, validate their emotions, validate their being. Doesn't mean that you're agreeing. It just means that you can hear them, you can see, you understand what they're going through, but you might have one or two advice that will help them navigate more successfully. So the key is this relationship that you need to set with them. It's not just about who is stronger, it's not about who's in power, who's in control. We all know that, I don't like to use that term, but as parents, we make the big decisions. We we're the ones who take responsibility and who play the big cards. There's no argument in this, and they know too. But they would like to feel that some of the decisions they are making them, that they are being partners with you, that their opinion matters. So if you want to navigate this relationship very successfully with your team, make sure to, number one, listen to understand, not to judge. Number two, sorry, pick the right time and the tone. Set the boundaries through collaboration and not control, and validate their feelings, because that means that you really understand them, even if you disagree with what they're doing, so that you can be a model for them. And they will be more than glad to follow and to listen, because they know you have their best interest in mind. That's all for me today. Thank you for watching, and thank you for following, and thank you for supporting me. My name is Lara Ghani Mekhnaiser. My passion is to help teenagers achieve their highest potential through understanding how to navigate life, how to navigate our conflicts, our challenges, and our relationships. And I take so much joy in doing this. If you have any questions or you would love to learn more, please get in contact. I would love to have a very, very interesting discussion with you. For now, thank you very much for listening, and I cannot wait to see your comments and to hear from you. Bye bye.